Good day to each and everyone. I am Alvin J. Tahaji, BSIT 1F, and I will be performing today on how to solve problems using those 5 data types in Python application. Now, in Python application, we know we require some PCs or laptops so that mas maayos ang flow ng ating coding or mas maayos ang surface or yung let's say yung ways ng pag-codings natin para mas smooth or slow. But since sa situation natin, we don't have laptops, we don't have PCs, we can use phone as an alternatives. If wala tayong laptops or PCs, we can use phone. Since available na rin si Python sa application, sa mga phones natin, pwede natin ma-access si Python or gamit ang ating phone. So, I will be now discussing you the 5 data types that gagamitin natin sa ating problems later on. I will show you the demo one by one and their different fields and their different procedures. So, what are those 5 data types? Those 5 data types are the string, the integers, the boolean, the complex, and the float. Those 5 data types have different fields, different procedures on how to solve them. And now, we will start the programming. And since phone lang ang gamit ko ngayon, I will share the screen right here. Now, let us go first sa tinatawag nating string. So, in string, when we talk about string, we talk about the letters or words. We don't talk about numbers, we don't talk about decimals, but we talk of words. It could either be a combination of words and numbers. It's also okay. But more focus ni string dito is yung letters or words, since string ang ginagamit natin. So, let's create a problem dito sa string na to. Sa string na to is, gusto ko, let's say, I want to see out my name. So, I'll just put it right here. So, let's start with the variable. Variable, siya yung tinatawag nating, if we imagine, variables is parang tinatawag natin some sort of container. Siya yung container. Siya yung magko-contain ng information or data na nasa kanyang loob na kanyang ating i-execute later on. So, let's say, isip ko ng variable, I say my name. So, I will name my variable as name. Name. Alright. Then, there's an equal sign here. Alright, and I will put some quotation marks so that Python will detect the data that we will gonna input in this variable. The Python will automatically understand that it is words, it is string when we have quotation marks. So I'm gonna put here, hi, I am, hi everyone. Let's say hi everyone. Alright, hi everyone. I'm still typing, I'm still coding. So, hi everyone. That's it. Now, I want to make 3 variables and I want to make them as one pag in-execute ko. Gusto ko pag in-execute ko siya, gusto ko yung 3 variable na yun is lumabas o mag-pop out siya sa screen later on pag nag-run ang ating system. So, I'm gonna create another variable, name 2. Now, you might be asking, bakit may number 2 ang pangalawa kong variable? It's because when we make variable, we must make those variables some difference sa kanilang pangalan o sa kanilang mga names. Hindi sila pwedeng magkapareho. That's why nilagyan natin na number 2 so that ma-read ni Python na this variable is different from that first variable. So, makakount siya ni Python as 2 ng variable, hindi na isang variable na lang. So, you're gonna put here, I'll say quotation mark again. I'll say I am Alvin Tahaji. I'm gonna add here. And I'm gonna add another variable ulit. Name 3. Name 3 na naman so that ma-identify ni Python na may pagkaiba ang 3 variable. Okay, this we're gonna say my section. I guess I'll put my section. BSIT. That's 1F. 1F. Alright. Now, how will I execute this? How will I make these 3 variables popping out of screen later on pag nirun ko siya. So we're gonna type print. In C++, we type cout. But here in Python, we type print. So print, open parenthesis, and here in open parenthesis, we will gonna mention those variables. Kumbaga, tatawagin natin ang mga variables na to. These three variables, this name1, name2, and name3. We will gonna mention it here so that if ipiprint niya, that will be the result. Or that those variables that is mentioned inside the print, those variables will show their content on the screen later on pag nirun natin to. Okay. Let's say name1. That's the name1, and that's name, name2. I'm sorry. I forgot. There's no name1. There's just name2. Sorry. Name2 and name3. Alright. Now, this is the final output. This is the final coding. This is just very simple. I will just have to execute this so that mag-pop out ang tatlong variable na to pag i-run natin siya. So, let's run. Okay, just waiting for a while. This might take a longer. Alright, so nag-pop out na siya. This is the final output. So, ang laman ng variable number 1 is yung hi everyone, at ang laman ni variable number 2 is yung I'm Alvin Zeta Haji, and yung laman naman ni variable number 3 is yung BSIT1F. So, yun na po ang overall na output na minention natin kanina sa mga variable. Now, to make it more easier, we can make this as whole as one sa isang variable na lang so that di na tayo mahirapan. Like this, we just have to delete this. Alright? Cut. Alright. And ipag-as1 na lang natin to silang sa isang variable na lang. Since letters lang naman to or words, pwede lang din naman yan. Okay. Everyone, I am Alvin Zeta Haji. BSIT1F. So, don't forget the quotation marks. Don't ever forget the quotation marks from the start and from the last of na content ni variable. Like this in the high and the BSIT1F dun sa last. Don't ever forget those quotation marks. Because if wala ang quotation mark, hindi yan i-consider ni Python as string or words. I-consider niyan as unknown or error. Like if you say sample, tatanggalin natin itong quotation mark. If I will run this, there will be a error because there's no indication of whether what type of data type yung tinatype mo. Is it a string or is it just a unknown error? So there's no longer existing variable like variable number 2, name 2, and name 3. Those variables no longer exist because dinelete natin siya kanina pa. And so we're gonna just only one. This is the only one. Why? Because there's only one variable left here. There were three variables in there earlier. There were three variables earlier, I mean. Now, there's only one variable so that if ipiprint natin siya, therefore, isang variable lang ang ilalabas niya. Because dito sa ating option, naka-highlights dito, is isang variable lang po tayo meron. So, therefore, ang ipiprint niya ay isang variable lang din. So, run natin to. And you got it. This is the result. Hi everyone, I'm Alvin Zeta Haji, BSIT1F. So, that it is. That's it. That is we call the sample of string. Now, let's move on to integers. Integers, the second data types that we will gonna discuss or gonna show you on how to use it in some solving some problems. So, dito sa integers, when we talk about integers, we talk about numbers. We talk about whole numbers. When we talk about integers, we don't talk any numbers or some sort of any letters or words, but we talk about whole numbers, not decimal points. Complete and whole numbers lang po talaga ang meron sa integers. So, we gotta have some, we got to find some problems that must outcome na mag-out or mag-result ng isang whole numbers. Name. So, the purpose why natin nalagyan ito ng hashtag in name so that hindi siya ma-read ni Python. So that mamaya if mag-execute tayo ng another data types, is hindi na siya isasama ni Python kasi naka sign na siya ng hashtag, which means hindi niya ito i-read, hindi niya ito i-execute. This is just a commentary part since done na tayo sa string. Okay. Now, let's proceed sa integers. Now, let's talk of one problem para paano gamitin si integers, data types. So, I'm gonna say, let's say gusto kong mag-business. Let's say gusto ko bumili or magpundar ng isang business. So, I'm gonna say I want to have my own price of chippy and juice. Dalawang variables muna, which is the chippy and juice. Sabihin ko na. So, we no longer have to put what type of data type it is. As long as ma-read ni Python na variable siya, automatic malalaman niya if what type of data types ang ini-input natin sa kanya. So, I'm gonna put right here, the first example is the chippy. So, chippy. It doesn't matter what type of what name of variables ang lalagay natin. Since variables naman to, Python will automatically consider it. So, I'm gonna put here chippy since gusto ko mag-business. I'll say chippy. So, chippy. So, value of chippy, which means price. Let's say I will put numbers here, price. Let's say it's 10 peso. Yeah. It's 10 peso. The chippy is 10 peso. And juice, let's say the price of juice is 5 peso. Right? 5 peso. Right? Therefore, 5 peso. Now, the purpose here, why nilagyan natin ng value itong mga variables na to, so that malaman natin if the purpose of the problem is parang gusto kong i-depend kay user. I-include ko na po dito si user so that ma-type niya ilan ang bibilihin niyang chippy at ilan ang bibilihin niyang juice. And so, malaman natin ang total na dapat niyang babayaran pag bibili siya sa akin ng chippy at juice. Since ang price ng chippy natin is 10 and 5, ang price ng chippy natin, is 10 and ang juice natin ay 5. So, dito naman sa third line, ilalagay ko na dito ang kanyang freedom para kung saan pwede mag-input si user ng ilang orders or numbers ng chippy or juice na gusto niyang i-input so that matotal natin mamaya. I will explain furthermore if matapos ko na siyang i-type. Okay? Let's hit the sum 1. Okay, this is sum 1. Since we're looking for the sum, okay, sum 1 and int, and then I'm gonna put some open and close parentheses. I'm gonna put input. That's it. And open and close parentheses again. So you might be asking, why am I putting integers here? So the sum 1 right here, this is the variable. The integer, this is some sort of command. This is telling the Python na if mag-i-encode man dito si user ng number na gusto niya, dapat number lang ang kanyang i-encode, hindi letters. That's why ilalagay natin integer. Because we are asking of how much. We're not asking of letters. So, numbers. So, the purpose why nilagay natin dito na input sa screen, kung bakit meron tayong nilagay na input, is that we are giving the user a freedom. Si user. User is yung, sabi natin, customer natin. Si user, binibigyan natin siya ng freedom para mag-input ng ilang numbers ang gusto niya. Depende sa kung ilan ang gusto niyang bilhin. That's why nandito ang input so that if i-run natin siya mamaya sa coding, malalaman natin if ilan yung gusto niya and malalaman natin ilan yung total na babayaran niya. So, let's put it input here. And then, I will add some letters. How much will I buy chippy? Now, I'm gonna proceed to second, the sum 2, which is, ang focus ni sum 2 is yung output naman ni juice. Kung ilan ang gustong input ni user doon sa juice. Same process lang po, different variables lang. Okay? Okay, now, here's how the magic happens. Now, I will put here in the second slide, I will put here the total or the overall price na babayaran ni user once nag-input na siya ng number niya doon sa output natin mamaya. So, I'm gonna use here the total. This is still a variable. So total, open parenthesis, this is where we will gonna mention, this is where we will gonna use the arithmetic operations para magkaroon tayo ng resulta. So, i-mention ko dito yung dalawang variable, which is yung si Chippy and Juice. So, sum 1. We can also just copy-paste that. Sum 1 and asterisk. So, asterisk means here, it is the sign of multiplication. Sa Python, we don't use X as symbol of multiplication, but we use this asterisk symbol para mag-indicate siya as multiplication. Doon na po ang standard na pagkakakilanlan ni Python sa mga arithmetic operations. So, in multiplication, we use asterisk to indicate as times or multiplication. So, we're gonna use this. May mention natin dito si Chippy. Since Chippy ang kanyang first variable, yun ang ilalabas natin Chippy, sum1 times Chippy. So that kung ano man i-input ni user doon sa sum1, ita-times natin siya doon sa price ni Chippy para malaman natin ilan ang total niyang babayaran. So, I'm gonna put here Chippy. Now, I will have to I will just print the overall amount so that lumabas kung ilan yung total niya na nilagay ni user doon. So, I'm gonna put here the print. Alright, print, and then the open parenthesis, and then F and quotation mark. Later on, I will explain what is the purpose of letter F dyan. Anong purpose dyan? I will explain later on once the code is done. Okay. Let's say the total amount to pay. I'm sorry. I just put the space right there. Doesn't matter if may space or what. Basta as long as words siya. The total amount to pay is let's say, let's put 2 dots tapos another space so that meron siyang result or output kung saan. Remember, dito na mangyayari po ang tatawag nating magic. So, I'm gonna use this open bracket and close bracket. Here is where I will mention the final output. This is where I will mention the final output, which is yung kino-contain ni variable na total. Yung variable na total na yan, siya yung pinaka-overall outcome or siya yung pinaka-overall result ng ating dalawang arithmetic na sum of Chippy and the Juice and yung input ni user. Diyan po mapupunta lahat kay total. That's why minention natin si total para siya yung mag-pop out sa screen para sa kanyang result. Okay? Now, I will mention total here. Yan. Open and close parenthesis. Bracket pala, sorry. Open and close bracket. Yan. And the close parenthesis. Yan. And once na nilagyan natin po dito sa open and closing bracket, saka natin siya lalagyan ng quotation mark. And take note, no spacing of quotation mark from that bracket. Kasi pero pag meron siyang space, magkakaroon po tayo ng error. So that's why it is required na wag siyang lagyan ng space ang quotation mark after ng closing bracket. Okay? And so, we will try to execute this. For addition, dalagyan na natin ng print dito na isa so that if mag-pop out man ang ating result, magkakaroon tayo ng reminders doon kung ilan ang price ni Chippy or ilan ang price ni Juice so that hindi tayo mawala sa process. So, idadagdag ko na lang po dito. Print. It's very important, no? Na dapat meron tayong open and close parenthesis. Else, hindi yan i-read or magkaka-error yan kay Python. Same din kay C++. So, this is okay. I guess we'll just have to run this and malaman natin ang result. Now, ito po ang lumabas na result. Now, what is the problem here? The problem here is that we have to find out ilan ang gustong i-order ni customer sa ating product, sa Chippy at Juice. Now, kaya nga naka-indicate sa taas natin is yan yung purpose ng print sa kanina sa baba ng ating dalawang variables, which is yung the price of Chippy is 10 and the price of Juice is 5 peso, which serve us as reminder para kahit pag-run natin, hindi na natin kailangang mag-back pa para i-check yung price nila kasi naka-indicate na sila sa surface. Okay? So, let's say I am the customer. I want to buy Chippy. Let's say I'll have 2 pieces of chippy. 2 pieces of chippy. Alright. Now, the price of chippy is 10 peso. So, if I buy 2 pieces, therefore, it must be 20 pesos. So, then I press the enter and the second line pops out, which will gonna ask me on how much will I buy juice. This is the sum 2 in the background that we had done earlier. That will require us to input some numbers. So, numbers lang talaga. Hindi siya pwede mag-input ng letters dito. Kasi, ang main point natin doon is yung integer ang nilagay natin. So, I guess I will buy juice for 2 pieces din. So that it will be fair. Okay, 2 pieces, right. The price of juice is 5 peso. Therefore, if I buy 2 pieces, therefore, it must be 10 peso. So, if I total overall of this, so 20 pesos plus 10 pesos must be 30 pesos. So, if I press enter, the total amount to pay is 30 peso. Therefore, our coding is successful. Okay, now, let's proceed to the third type of data types in Python, which is, we will gonna use the complex numbers. Now, when we talk about complex numbers, we are talking about combination. We are talking about combination of 2 types of numbers, which is yung tinatawag nating real numbers and yung imaginary numbers. So, when we talk about real numbers, these are the numbers that visible to an eye. Even those are real numbers, whole numbers. It is very visible. It is never been hidden in a certain thing. Like nakapop out lang siya, makikita natin talaga siya. Like those imaginary numbers, those are numbers that are not visible. Let's say, yes, though they are visible, but in the background, they cannot be seen. Nagaran sila sa background. So, therefore, ang purposely complex numbers is that i-combine niya si imaginary numbers at si real numbers para makabuo tayo ng isang output or result gamit ang dalawang yun. It is very impossible to combine, but with complex, it has been made possible. So, we will create another, we'll just create a sample on how to do that, those process of complex numbers. Okay, let's see. Here, I guess I'll type the complex numbers. Alright, complex numbers. Alright, I will put it here. Let me think of one example. Let's see, I will put variable first. I will name the variable. Let's see. I will put it in my nickname, whatever, because whatever type of name of variable you input into that type of variable, Python will still consider it. But kasi variable is just a variable. But what more important is its content. So, I'm gonna put my nickname here, secret. So, beam1, because I will make 2 variables so that magkaroon tayo ng outcome. Hindi tayo pwede mag-execute or mag-outcome ng isang variables lang. Dapat dalawa. So, I'll put it here, beam1. Okay. So, I'm gonna put right here a letter J. Why? Why do we have to put letter J here? Because the letter J indicates that this number is imaginary number. If wala ang letter J, this only means that this number is not imaginary number, but visible numbers na lang siya. That's why it is very important to put J. Whatever it is, if it's caps lock, or big letter J, or small letter J, as long as it's letter J. No other letters, just only J. So that ma-read ni Python na siya ay isang imaginary numbers. Now, I'm gonna add another more variable. Yes. So, beam3. Dito ko na i-assign yung command. Dito ko na ilalagay yung command ng dalawang variables sa taas, on the top. Okay? I will put it right here. The let's say the complex, no? Since complex ang hinahanap natin, so complex ang ilalagay natin. Because we are assigning here sa second part na to, dito sa second line na to naka-highlights, we are assigning the command. Kumbaga, kino-command na natin si Python sa part na to na i-complex yung numbers na yun. So, I'm gonna put it right here, complex. Yan. Yan, open and close parenthesis. This is the part wherein i-mention ko na yung dalawang variable, si beam1 and beam2. Ika-copy paste ko na lang to para madali lang process. So, copy. So dito sa part na to, this is where the indication of plus sign, dito na siya mag-indicate as addition kasi naglagay na tayo ng command. When we put the command complex, doon na nag-read si Python na dapat gamitin natin ang mga types of operations like mga arithmetics, yung mga divisions, times, and mga multiplications. Those are arithmetics. Dito na siya mag-require ng anong klaseng arithmetic operations ang dapat nating i-input para ma-complex niya yung resulta. So, I'm gonna put plus here since gusto kong i-plus lang silang dalawa. So, I'm just gonna print that. Print. Beam3. I must mention beam3 kasi siya yung pangatlong variable. Siya yung nako-content ng overall command para sa dalawang variable sa taas. So, I will run this. So, this is the final output. This is the final output of our complex numbers. So, we have 9 plus 40j. Now, you might be asking, saan natin nakuha itong 9 plus 40j? It is here. Dito po sa ating tab, sa taas. With 5 plus 20 and the 4 plus 20j. Bakit siya naging 9? It is because we see the importance of adding the letter j po sa ating coding. Because the letter j not just indicates na ang number ay isang imaginary number, but also the purpose of nag-add tayo ng j is because also chine-change natin yung direction. Yung direction ng pag-add niya or the way paano siya mag-execute or mag-process ng calculation sa numbers na yun. If I remove the letter j, the possible outcome is that yung 5, hindi na siya magpa-plus kay 4. Kundi magpa-plus siya direct dito kay 20. Direct dyan kay 20 because wala na ang letter j. That's why it is very important I add natin si letter j so that maging maayos yung kanyang direction ng pag-calculate. Else, ang lalabas sa atin dyan is hindi po accurate ang kanyang kalalabasan if wala ang j and if wala ang mga operations natin dyan. So, sa floats naman, when we talk about floats, we talk about the decimals. We talk about the decimal points here. We're not talking about the whole numbers, we're not talking about the words or letters, but we are talking about the decimal points. So let me think of one problem. Like, continue sa business. Gusto ko magpunda ng business, let's say. The problem is, I want to buy some rice. Yes, 3 types of rice and meron silang iba-ibang values. Now, gusto kong kumita 2 times the price. So, I will demo on how to solve them. I want to find the decimal of those problem or how much price should I put sa bawat price so that maka-income ako ng 2 times price sa mga tatlong variables na yun. So, I'll just have to type for a while and I will explain how it works. So, the rice 1 is weighing at 5 kilos, the rice 2 is weighing at 10 kilos, and the rice 3 is weighing up to 15 kilos. So, my main problem here is that since different ang kilos nila, gusto ko malaman kung magkano ba ang dapat kong ilagay na price sa tatlong rice na to para kumita ko ng 2 times. For example, itong 50 kilos na to, pag kumita ko dapat makakumita ko ng 50 pesos dyan sa rice 1 na yan. So, sa rice 2 naman, dapat kumita ko ng 100 peso kasi 50 times 2 is 100, di ba? So, therefore, dapat kumita ko ng 100 dyan sa rice 2. And sa rice 3 naman, dapat kumita ko ng 150 pesos. So, therefore, the problem right there is we have to find out if magkano ba ang dapat natin ilagay na presyo per kilo sa rice para naman maka-income tayo ng 2 times. Yun ang main problem doon. We have to find the price of those rices para makakita ng income. So I just have to print this para malaman ko ang kanyang resulta. So if I had to print this, I will have to use the arithmetic operations para malaman ko ilan ang kanyang dapat na price. So in this part, it becomes a little tricky. So para malaman ang kanyang price, we will not gonna use the addition or the subtraction, but else we will use the division indicator or the divide. We will divide the values the overall price and the number of rice. Now, the main point here, why natin print out itong overall price divided by number of rice, which means 30 divided by 3. If i-divide natin ng 30 sa 3, therefore, dapat may maglalabas to na outcome. At ang output na yun ang kanyang dapat ilalagay natin na price sa mga rice natin para kumita tayo ng 2 times 2 times 2 times. So, let's try. This is the final output, the 10.0, and may decimal siya. So, that is the process of float. Now, we will gonna proceed to the bool, or yung tinatawag nating boolean. Boolean or bool is just one sa Python. Ang main focus kasi ni bool is yung true or false. Ang kanyang main focus doon is yung comparison. Ito tayo natin i-compare which statement is true and which statement is false. So, ang main point niya dito is comparison. XRM. This is a variable name, XRM, or the motor brand name, XRM. I'm gonna put a value wherein ilagay ko na dito ang kanyang speed or kanyang horsepower, 125. Ang kanyang engine power or horsepower is 125. So, I'm gonna add another variable. I'm sorry. Alright, now this is where the comparison happens. This is where the comparison happens. You want to focus more on about the true o yung truth kung saan ang totoo sa kanilang sa statement na to. So, in this statement, makikita naman natin na mas more than mataas ang horsepower ni XRM kaysa kay Rusi, which is 125 kaysa sa 110. So, gagamitin natin sa kay Boolean, most yung ginagamit sa kanya sa Boolean is yung if-else. Making if-else is like we are making a plan A and plan B. If hindi siya papasok sa if, papasok siya dun sa else. So, I'll just gonna put some codes here and I'll explain later on. So, in this statement, I'm saying that the XRM is greater than Rusi. Why do we have to use this mark such as the greater than or equal to signs? Because we are comparing things. When we talk about Boolean, we are comparing things or comparing variables. That's why it is very important to indicate if anong klaseng signs ang ating ilalagay. Those greater than or equal to, or less than equal to, or just less than or just equal to. Those are signs na dapat natin ilagay dito so that magkaroon tayo ng outcomes. If totoo na magpiprint itong si XRM ay mas greater than kay Rusi, therefore, ang ipiprint natin dito is true. So, print natin, it is true. Now, dito na papasok ang tinatawag nating else option, kung saan dito natin nilalagay yung ating option B, like plan B. Yung plan A yung if, yung plan B naman yung else natin. If hindi siya papasok doon sa plan A, papasok sa doon sa plan B, which is yung i-prepare natin dito so that magkaroon siya ng outcome, accurate outcome. Ito na po ang overall natin. So, ang XRM ko ay merong 125 na horsepower. Tapos itong si Rusi ko, meron siyang 110 horsepower. Now, if we state dito sa ating if statement, sa if statement natin dito nakalagay, naka-highlights, is that XRM is greater than Rusi. Therefore, it is, if it's really true that XRM is greater than Rusi, then ang isi-see out niya or i-print out niya is yung it is true. But if it's less than or less than Rusi, it means it is false. Kasi hindi naman talaga mataas yung Rusi kaysa kay XRM. So we just have to print this out. Just run this. Now, this is the outcome. This is the result. This is the result na hinahanap natin. Therefore, it is true. Why? Because ang indicate natin dito sa ating first statement is yung greater than sign. Ginamit natin yung greater than sign dito sa ating if statement. Now, what if ginawa ko tong less than sign? Let's see. Less than sign. Yan. What will be the outcome? It is false. Yun ang lowest sa kanyang result. It is therefore a false. Why? Because ang nilagay natin ditong statement is hindi naman talaga totoo. Hindi naman totoo na mataas si Rusi kaysa kay 125 na XRM kasi 110 lang ang value niya. 110 lang ang horse speed niya. So therefore, hindi siya pwede na igawing true na mataas siya kaysa kay exam since hindi naman talaga siya mataas. So therefore, it is false ang lalabas na outcome. So that's how the Boolean works. That's how the 5 data type works. So that's it. That's all my presentation for today. That's all my performance for today. We are done with the 5 data types. And so I'm Alvin J. Tahaji once again. I hope you have learned something from me. And that's all. Thank you.